Okay, so today happens to be the International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression. And I mean, we're coming to talk about it, look at it. I don't know, but first off, before I actually jump into anything with anybody, I just want to find out from Miss Maud and also you out there, what was one of your fondest childhood memories? What was one of your fondest childhood memories?
Well,
No ampe, no aligoto, no shinigboom, CCC, none of those things.
when I was little, when I was a child,
Mm-hmm.
every Sunday, my dad used to have a car then.
Mm-hmm.
So every Sunday, he would just bundle all of us up and then we would go somewhere. The one place I remember, I don't remember the other places, but the one place I remember is we going to Kotoka sometime. You know, when before it became this way,
Yeah.
you could just go there, visit,
And
and
watch
then
around,
watch
yeah.
around, and then you could get to see the planes and all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one of the most fondest memories. I don't remember. I don't remember the details,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember
have
that
it, yeah,
time, and then
vaguely.
I remember Sundays in my house used to be so fun because then we are going out somewhere, and I used to have so many toys.
You like playing with toys. No wonder you didn't learn how to ride a bike. Hafiz, you're welcome. So, which of the toys were you playing with? Barbie dolls? Were you playing with cooking sets? Or were you playing with car type of... What type of toys were you playing with?
I had Legos. I had so many.
The bees in the house. The bees in the house. When we were pounding clay to mold cooking utensils to play with, and we have to dry it on people's roof.
Please tell me, what is Lego?
You had Legos. Oh, wow.
Oh, can we have this discussion? Because I really don't want you guys to put me on the spot again today. Please.
No wonder she didn't have time to learn to ride a bicycle.
That is good.
Yeah, she is playing with Legos. I mean, Hafiz, when did you get a Lego?
What is Lego?
You're kidding, right?
Okay.
You're kidding, right?
No, I'm serious.
You don't know what
Well, you don't know
Legos
what
is?
Lego is?
Barry, don't you know what Legos is?
When did you
Educated.
get a Lego, Barry?
Lego.
No, stop looking at your leg. I'm not talking of a leg, like leg.
Lego.
No, not leg. Not your leg go, like Lego.
But you are
Lego,
bougie.
the Lego.
Nah, I didn't know that.
You guys don't know what Lego?
Mod is bougie.
Mod is bougie. She is bougie. She's a DB bougie.
The only time I came across
Yeah.
Lego is like
Oh.
I saw a house painted with different colors, so maybe it's a bit similar. I don't know. But it looks like that. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Can you explain furthermore? Boy is just lost.
I
here.
mean, you guys cannot blame me. I used to be
can't
the only child then. I was the only child for like 5 years straight.
Oh,
5
wow.
good years.
Yes.
5 years is not only.
Okay.
Why are you trying to downplay it?
Ah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I
That's
was-
enough time to
It's like
any degree.
it was 5 years before my siblings before my sister came around,
Yes.
right? So it's like, I mean,
You were the center of the universe for 5 years.
Yeah. Sounds like something like that. Yeah.
You're not done with this.
But anyway, just let go. It's not like let's go. Like let go of me. Like let go of me. You're hurting me, kind of thing.
Lego.
I
Yeah,
can't deal with you.
Lego.
People.
Yes.
I can't deal with you people right now. I can't.
Lego.
Okay. So, okay. Lego, Miss Lego. Let's keep you here for now. Hafiz, what's your fondest childhood memory? Don't tell me kicking somebody.
No. Oh, come on. I'm not violent. I'm the sweetest person you know.
Why are you looking at me?
I'll need a cup of water. Yeah, we think we'll need
What's wrong with
water.
you people?
Oh, nothing. Just go on.
Opinions are like noses. Everybody has one.
Oh, don't worry.
So your
Yeah, same way. Like your opinions about me.
No, yours is a fact, not an opinion. Flow.
Fondest childhood memories. I think that would be in Ramadan. Yes, my time with my grandmom. Usually during the Hamatan, after suhoor, would step out onto the pitch and then play football like there's no tomorrow. Yes, I think that was fun. I miss those days. These days I can't even do it. I mean,
You can't play the ball or you don't know how to play
no, but come on. you try to kick the ball after taking suhoor. Trust me.
What's suhoor? You're saying suhoor as if everybody knows what suhoor is.
You need someone to pick you up. The meal you take at dawn.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, as a kid, I mean, you had a lot of energy to run around and still come. But these days, you can do that.
Right.
Yes.
Really?
I mean, age is definitely catching up with you. So.
Oi.
You're not an old man yet. My
No,
goodness.
but compared to that, come on, really,
Do you keep fit?
I keep fit.
What
But
way?
don't tell me you can.
Whoa.
What a 10 or 15-year-old can do.
I'm
Someone
just asking, do you keep
in
fit?
your-
In what way?
Can we move on?
Oh, goodness. Barry,
Well.
what's your fondest childhood memory?
Ah.
Please don't mention the birthday party.
I think that's it. That's it. No, seriously, guys. Like, I was the only one who appeared
What's going on?
at this birthday party with a jalabia tucked
she
in.
knows you like a pastor knows his way.
No, like, no, that was serious, man. Like, it was
He
epic.
said it.
Jalabia, and I had my sneaker on, and I had it tucked in because everybody was tucked. You look at my Charlie. Stop laughing, man. But it was crazy. I realized like I was like 2.0 version of me at that time. You know.
Jalabia tacked in. with the
Yeah, and I
covers.
remember the color. It's kind of like ash. Yeah, all designs on there.
I'm just enjoying the way mothers look at you right now.
Lego.
But at least I'm not a Lego kind of guy. You know, I'm the guy who plays with
Oh
counters.
no, you did not.
I played with counters.
I played with counters.
Why
as
you
well.
go around
Okay,
picking
so as both of you, as the
soft
two of
drinks
you
and
just
stuff.
keep on with that, we'll just mention that today actually happens to be June 4th. And, well, according to the United Nations, it's the day where we're actually marking the innocent children victims of aggression. And I'm not exactly happy about the aggression being demonstrated right in front of me. Thank you. Thank you for behaving wonderfully. Thank you. Now, the purpose of today is to actually acknowledge the pain that is suffered by children throughout the world and, you know, who tend to be victims of physical, mental, and emotional abuse. And I think it's not a good thing in any way. This is a bit quite close to home, but I'm just going to throw it into the open. Have any of you ever experienced any form of abuse that the effect on you actually kept coming back?
More, I think that's for you. You started with Legos.
Okay. I wouldn't call it abuse. I would say more neglect.
Okay.
I think my parents traveled when I was for a little while. I think for a week. And then I had to go and stay with the wife of my father's brother, because he had traveled with them as well. And I remember having a tummy ache while with that woman, and she didn't mind me. It's like I was there and I had diarrhea and I had tummy ache, and this woman it's like she didn't care. And so growing up, it hasn't really had an effect on me because, I mean, I care about people irrespective. But that particular person I don't care about no matter what.
Okay. And would you... the pain is still there sometimes.
The pain isn't there. It's just the after effect. It's like all through the time I was with this woman, she didn't... It's like it was when she had to give her kids food that she'll give me food. And I stayed with her for like 2 days. So it's like you think I would also treat the kids of other people wrong. But no, it's just I do not care about this person at all.
Okay. Hafiz, have you suffered any form of abuse, physical, mental, or emotional? And don't you dodge my
Does it
question.
sound like a therapy session? Anyway, but
Yeah. Sounds
Yeah,
like that, you know.
it's like Hafiz doesn't
Looks
want to
Like,
get him
right after you're done pouring, she's like, okay, so there's a way forward.
Will you guys be serious? If we're going to be able to talk
No.
about something, at least we're just trying to bear what we have been through and look at it. And so
I'm
it's
just,
not
I'm
like...
just trying to make it clear. I mean, make it look like a touchy-feely moment. I mean,
Yeah, we know how much you hate emotions.
Well, if you don't, then...
look, the thing is this. You're asking if I've had a situation like that in the past. Now, by trying to answer that question, I feel I'll be putting my parents or my guardians on trial. And I'm not going to do that. Now, what I would say, though, is that I think raising a child is a full-time job. Okay, it's not something you get to unclock from when you are done. Okay, it's something that exists for a lifetime, and it's something you would have to really prepare your mind. And what makes it even more challenging is the fact that it isn't like parenting comes with a manual or a handbook that you would have to go through to know what kind of best parenting practices work. So whatever it is you are subjected to, whatever it is that you had at the end of the day as some form of parenting that from your parents, that is born out of the fact that this is what they were also exposed to. So they were only doing the best they can. Now for me, what I would say is this, in terms of abuse and everything.
Okay,
If for some reason
before you go on abuse, let me just ask Barry the same question.
No,
No, I'm still answering them. I'm just answering the question.
No, you don't have any experience like that.
Abuse.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Never been abused before.
Can I go on?
Yes, you can
Yes.
go
So
on.
it's just simple. So for me, I believe that yes, you can try your best to raise a child, however you can. But the thing is this, I mean, someone will sit somewhere and look at your parenting skills and still judge you. But at the end of the day, I believe that if you are doing your best for the child and not putting them in harm's way, you are doing just fine.
How would you define harm's way?
Yes, we all know harm. Yes, physical harm. Yes, but well, these days there's such thing as emotional and mental health that has come to play, and a lot of us as have suffered one way or the other in some form from that. Some don't even realize it until later in adulthood when they look back or when they actually go further in their studies and realize that, well, these things that happened to me as a child wasn't right, but it did happen. So, like I said, I mean, a lot of people are living with one kind of trauma or the other. I mean, each time even this conversation comes up, people are like, oh, my parents did one or two things to me, but look how I turned out. I turned out fine. But are you actually fine? So, personally, I, I think I don't want to answer that.
Okay. Barry,
Yeah.
how would you view abuse?
I think it's is any form of actually not giving that child, the ability to also have a say, the opportunity to try and correct a wrong they have actually done by themselves, trying to let them understand that this is right and this is wrong and this is wrong and that is right. And by so you deny them the opportunity for them to understand it, so that next time they don't do it. So you don't actually explain it. They could be wrong and they deserve a pat, some maybe, but you, the guardian or the parent, may take it to an extreme measure, and sometimes what that person did doesn't even require maybe a beating or something. It just needs a conversation, and then you take it to the extreme. For me, I think that I would term as abuse, and it's not just the physical, what do you call it, harming. It's also, like Hafez made mention, the emotional and the mental, elements in there that also comes in. Because at the end of the day, you don't talk to me, all you do is insult me. So that's a certain information and sending the wrong signal to me. You don't tap me or I don't know, just beat me up or something, use physical assault generally to correct my wrong, and no reward for my good doings or my right doings. No, okay, in as much as they say too much, accolades to the child spoiled it, like what they say, is it? There's
Yeah.
this
If you reward the child for every good thing,
exactly
it becomes the norm for them.
exactly. So in as much as that is an exceptional case, but for me it's like denying the child the opportunity for them to understand the situation they're in and what they were supposed to do or what they were not supposed to do. All you do is go hard on them, which for me I think is not really the case. Yep.
You see, can I? Okay. Look, let me simply come in with a little. You see, the thing about abuse is simple. When a child gets abused, for me, usually I lay the blame squarely at the doorsteps of the parents.
Right.
Because in terms of an abuse, a parent should be a child's last line of defense.
Mm-hmm.
the war could be against the child. Okay, people could say all kinds of things about the child's behavior and everything. But once you step into the home, your parents, no matter what, should believe you. Okay, and then proceed to whether or not, if they decide to investigate the matter further and to find out whether or not you're wrong.
Right.
Because a lot of the time, sometimes you find parents even siding with the society. And when it happens, it becomes problematic. And we've seen that happen in issues of sexual abuse and everything. Where the child comes home and even tries to tell the parents and they shut you up.
Yeah, they don't believe you.
Because at the end of the day, maybe you are accusing someone that is very prominent in society of a wrongdoing. Now, if the parent is going to go accusing such a person of touching you inappropriately, I mean, they better come at them with something concrete than just your word. So a lot of parents won't even try to ruffle feathers. So they just tend to let sleeping dogs lie. And that's the problem. I don't know if you caught the BBC video, the one Kiki Modi did about sexual exploitation and everything. Now, in one of the videos, I think one of the professors was just on the couch and was telling one of the young ladies that, don't worry, I'll tell your father that you should come to me. I'll report you to your father. Now, what, in essence, the abuser is saying is that I know your father would believe me if I tell them more than you. Okay, so as a parent, you learn trust the word of your child, especially when they try to tell you some of these things. Now, there are also instances where the abuse is orchestrated by the parents, and that's muddy the waters a lot more. Because, sometimes you can find a child also happy when the parents are not even around.
Yeah.
Very lively. Immediately they see the mom or the dad,
Everything changes.
you look at them and it's like they've seen the devil. I'm sure you can remember one or two persons in your community that behaved in such a manner.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even the parents didn't get physical with them, but they see their parents and their entire mood changes. And a child can be unruly and everything. And there are some children, when they're acting all unruly and you are like, hey, if you don't stop, I'll tell your mom. Then it's like, that's it. Now, these are all red flags that sometimes we see and then we tend to ignore in our communities.
Wouldn't you say? It's not that we ignore, but because we feel it's normal. There's that sentiment in certain homes that a child should be afraid of the parent enough that when they say, "Hey, stop," you stop. Or they feel if you're not that kind of a way, a child wouldn't listen.
It's even a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing where, as a child, you are told, they shut you up. Like you are not encouraged to express yourself.
Yeah.
We've seen it all too often where a child is very expressive and like, my friend, keep quiet, you're making noise. Yes, and there's this thing in my culture or language. They say that you don't say an elderly person lied. You say they are joking. So you don't say you are me. So whatever it is. So if you have a case against someone that did something, or against your abuser, and you come to tell, or try to argue out your case, and when you're standing right there and they're telling a blatant lie, you can't say they're lying.
You just have to take it the other way.
Yes, you have to say they are joking.
They're joking. I think for hours, they say you don't call them a liar. You tell them, you say that what they are saying is not true. But not that they are liars, no, but what they are saying is not true. But here's the thing,
someone is lying to your face. So I
don't know, does that philosophy applies in the court of law? As in, yeah, you are accusing someone in your society of same ethnicity.
That's why I said it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So definitely in a court of law, you definitely tell the person is lying.
Yes,
I believe so.
Society, because if you go and point a finger at an elderly person, that's you're a liar. It sends so many wrong signals, and before you realize, you start another bushfire.
Right.
Miss Maud.
Hi.
The little baby.
No, we are not doing this.
No, we're not. We're not doing it, actually.
Okay. But yeah, abuse is a big one. That usually, sometimes, it happens in certain subtle ways that you don't even see it. It's like, there's the physical where a child is beaten till sometimes you do something and your mom is like, I won't touch you. Wait till your dad gets home.
Yeah.
And
those dawn beatings.
Terminator about to go
Yo,
Terminates the
Wake you up
city.
at dawn.
they wake you up at dawn. I mean, thinking back, it's like, in as much as they were trying to lead us onto the right path, I
Yeah.
feel like those measures were too extreme,
Very.
especially considering our ages. I don't know why half is looking at me like it never happened to me. It did.
I didn't say anything. Did I say?
But like I said, thinking back, it's like, in as much as you're trying to make me do the right thing, I feel like some of those measures were extreme. Because then sometimes you're whipped with a belt. You're waking up at dawn. I mean, even to this day and age, sometimes I'm
Yes, some
passing by
parents-
somebody's house and
But you see, and that's the thing. When you're talking about abuse, you're like, okay, you remember all these moments. I had my moments with my mom and everything. But the thing is, I mean, what parenting skill is the best? Would you say is okay? Because I mean, we've seen at times where you don't touch the child. Even there's a whole verse in the Bible about it: spare the rod and spoil the child. So, what parenting method is actually the best?
I don't
not
think
saying-
it's-
I'm not-
They are actually raising you according to the way they knew
they
how
were raised.
they were raised. So don't be surprised one day you are raising your kids,
And you said this was
And you
how
use
my-
But
adopting
you see-
certain methods,
you
and
see,
they'll turn around later
Yeah.
later and tell you that mom you didn't do a good job,
Right.
You see,
or
that's-
still criticize your methods.
Yeah, but that's why I feel like it's not about there being a set standard. Nobody's saying probably when a child does something, don't let them know they're wrong. But then when it becomes the standard to the point where when your child actually hears you're coming home, they have to, if you're coming left, they have to pass right. It's like it's a do or die affair. It's standard to the point where a child has become so much afraid of you that they can't even approach you to talk to you about simple things because the least thing will set something up. Is that the sort of parenting it should be?
That's the thing. That's what I'm telling you. That look, each time it comes up, it's a
No
dicey issue.
formula.
Yes, someone will tell you that. Well, I went through all that, but look how I turned out.
And like you yourself
So-
ask, are they really fine?
Well, what is fine? Because
It's relative.
What is fine to you?
Define fine.
It
I
depends
mean,
on
I mean,
the
we
individual.
Fine.
still do certain things, and I can say is you can trace it back to the way we were brought up. For instance, even I think I mentioned on this platform the way we eat food. So a lot of us eat food and then save the meats
For the last.
For the last,
Yeah, man.
and that's because you were raised. A lot of the time, if you trace it, you realize that you were raised and rewarded with a piece of meat that you leave for the last.
Yeah. the
So you
finish.
grow up and you are eating, and you still feel that the meat is something I should enjoy.
I think for
then.
some too, it's
So-
not just about reward, but when you're eating with adults and you actually try to take the meat first, they
That's the thing.
they hit your
So
hand.
it's still the same programming that you go through. So there are a lot of things we still do as adults, and it's largely because of our surrounding. Okay, yes, there's the immediate socialization where you get from your parents. There's also the one you get from your environment.
And,
Okay, so
and are we looking at how to improve this? Because I feel that okay, if probably my mom went through something or she was treated or meted out a certain treatment, which she felt fine, I wasn't happy about the way it went, and I probably thought maybe this is how I wish my mom had done it. Are we saying that okay, because this is what was done, as much as despite how she felt it probably should have been done, she should also do the same thing?
that's one thing. Saying anything she does is because of how she was raised. That's the knowledge she had.
I get,
Okay.
I completely get that part, but I'm also looking at the solution part. Are we working to make things better, or are we just saying, look, this is how it's been since ages,
What are you
we're going to
fixing?
go through with it?
That's the thing. I mean, if you say I'm making something better, then it means it's broken. So what are you fixing?
We're looking at children who go through abuse, children who become victims of aggression. Is there a way to make it better?
Of course,
Must
there
it
is a
be
way.
that, okay, I can't have a relationship with my parents or my guardians or whoever I find myself with because this is how they've been and this is how they will always be?
I think there is. That's why we have psychologists all around. You know?
I think we have to champion children's rights more because some of us were fortunate enough to live with our parents. So, I mean, you get the usual beating here and there. But there are some people who
Yeah.
are living with people who are not their parents and they're going through terrible things. It's like we hear stories about how a child was sent to go and buy something and then he lost one CD and then he comes back and then they put an iron on and then put it on the child's back. And it's like, what are we doing to protect the rights of these children? Because sometimes these issues are taken to the police station. Before you know it, they have carried it back to the house.
No, they'll tell you bring it home and solve it at home. It's a domestic issue.
So then
Yeah.
it's like, what is being done? And if you know you cannot take care of a child fully, why take them on? Because sometimes they take the children on and they do all forms of things to the
No, but
the
even
thing is,
bi-
I don't even know-
biological
I don't-
parents do a bad job of raising the kids. So
I don't even know. I don't even know. I know we have a criteria. A certain rules and regulations or laid down principle that one would have, certain requirements that one would have to meet before they bring in a certain child to take care of. But I want
How
to
many
believe
of them
these
actually
things
follow?
are
And
overlooked. Yes,
and who even holds them accountable?
and where you
you
have,
have a working welfare department.
I don't even know. But I believe that
But
it,
we
it
don't
exists
want to get
somewhere.
into that.
Question
Let's-
of
yeah.
question of the century.
Yeah, now for the gods rather, they'll be the ones to answer that question. Yes, but that's the thing, where you see, it's not that we cannot do these things. It's just I think we just lack that discipline to do it. We have beautiful laws, bylaws, and what have you, but we ourselves, I think we are sometimes, most of the times, indisciplined, frankly speaking, because you say a certain thing. Look, someone crosses a red light, okay, and the police stops the vehicle, approaches, looks into the vehicle, and identifies such a person as maybe a celebrity. Oh, it's you. Oh, carry on, because of the person's status. Okay, so who is that celebrity? Is that person above the law or not? Look, there was this story about one of the Ghanaian ex footballer. What's his name again? Derek Boateng. I think he was arrested for overspeeding or something. It became the story of the day. Like, hey, Derek Boateng was arrested. It shouldn't be a case. Who is Derek Boateng? Sorry to say, he's a celeb, played in big clubs and what have
still
you.
a citizen.
But he's still a citizen and not above the law. So if you arrest Derek Boateng for overspeed, it's normal. But you arrest a player, maybe Sule Mutari, overspeed. Hey, I've arrested Sule Mutari.
Yeah.
So it's like we ourselves, we don't even make it something. Just like Epi said, you take a case to the police station and they say, let's take it back home. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. It keeps on going. And that's how our cake cultural practices keeps germinating every day and making seed.
No, you see, usually there's something they call alternative dispute resolution,
Yeah,
ADR.
yeah,
So
Right.
usually, when you take your cases to
Mm-hmm.
the police station, and when they advise you to take it back to home,
Mm-hmm.
the whole idea is just one, it saves you a lot of cost in terms of the legal issues and everything.
Right.
Now, for some too, when it involves a very sensitive issue like rape and all that, now there are times some families are like, okay, so the longer this case drags, the more you'd find the family name out there. So they would rather, decide, they are going to met out the punishment and everything, but it's going to be something they are going to do indoors rather than make it a public
Is the
affair.
punishment
My
really
question is-
meted out?
actually
I'm saying, I'm
meted
giving-
out
I'm
the
giving-
Is the
question.
punishment
Does it
really
work?
meted out?
I'm sending
Does it
a
work?
message. Okay, don't crucify it. I'm
No,
just
we're
a
not. We're just
message
asking
that-
you.
I'm just giving out
If
the
you
reason
joke,
why some people decide that, okay, they'd rather handle their affairs at home rather than make it,
And
something
how good is it
I'll
going?
put out there. Okay, and some have worked. Okay, not all conversations are out there. So that's why even issues of
So
defilement.
wait, when you say not all conversations out there, now are we looking at the family's name pride over the justice to be served?
You're asking like you
No,
don't know.
there are people
Okay.
out there who would never give in to having their family name out there tarnished by
You're acting like you don't know what family
certain,
name means to a lot of people.
happening in the
exactly.
family. Yeah, we have
So-
families that are rivals. Yes.
So they'll tell you it's something they don't want their family name to be associated with.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll rather handle their affairs
At home.
Okay, because if it's in the media, it's something you go to court, and you know how court, the courts, operates. Or
Oh yeah.
I mean, it could take years before you find some form of resolution.
Well, okay, so
Exactly. So you have all these issues going on anyway.
yeah, so I'll take a very two-liners closing remarks from everybody, but I feel we should. I'm not saying there's a standard or there's a book for it. I'm just saying know what works for your ward and your child or for whoever you're actually taking care of. Because, look, the children you've raised today become the adults of tomorrow. And half of the adults you have are doing the things they do because of the kind of childhood they have. Some may not recover from it and then they feel, let me just also carry it on to the next person. So they also feel what I went through. So I'm just thinking we should look at what works, what is actually helping us. and not just think of this is what it was, this is what we came to meet, that's what we'll carry on. So, final closing remarks, Barry?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Let's just do what needs to be done. You see, the truth will always be one, but for the lies, it's in multiple, elements and what have you. So yes, let's do the right thing, and because whatever you raise today, it comes back to haunt you tomorrow. Because we've seen instances where children or people treat their parents in a certain way, and you ask yourself why. It's because of the way
They were
raised.
treated,
Exactly. So you never showed me any mercy when I was young, when I was a child in front of you. So why would I show you that? And they carry that rage alongside with them, So let the child understand that what I've done is wrong, okay? And okay, you've done a good thing, but next time this, that. Not to go be to
All taekwondo.
Charlie, yeah, all taekwondo. Thank you.
Hafiz?
Yeah.
Look, I'll end by saying this. I started by saying that raising a child is a full-time job. Yes, and I still stand by that. It's not something you get to sign in and out whenever you want. And a lot of the cases of abuse we have usually starts from parents or individuals having kids that have no business having kids. Yes, because they themselves need a lot of growing up to do. Yes, but some way, somehow, they got married, and for them, childbearing seems to be the logical step for them, and it happened. Now, you see, the thing about children is this: even under the best of circumstances, even under the best of conditions, you'll still find pockets of issues here and there to deal with. And as a parent, you need to. That is even they are under your watchful eye, because you would have to, be on the lookout for some of these things. Let me give you an example. Now, you know how children are growing. When they grow at some developmental stages, when they start to grab stuff and then immediately put them in their mouths. Yes. Now, for any child, for any parents looking at his child do that at some point, he feels, well, it's just a phase. It will go. Now, for some, there's this condition called pica, P-I-C-A, where it's an eating disorder where the person decides to put whatever stuff they find in their mouth. It might not be of any nutritional value, so talk about sound, anything.
Yeah.
Now, for a parent that is not around their child, okay, they are going to miss this. And these are the early stages of some disorder. And if they don't catch this, then it becomes a problem later in life. And so that is it. So even if you are around them, these are issues that you might not, you might miss. How much more if we are away? So that's what I'm saying. As a parent, you need to make your presence felt.
Okay, thank you. Miss Maud, final words.
Yeah, I mean, I would say we should be each other's keepers when it comes to children, because most often than not, we see some of these abuses happening, but because it's not my child, or because it's not the child of my relative, I'll tend not to say anything about it. I mean, usually when we talk, we usually don't use examples from the West, but you look at America like this, and the social welfare system works. And America is a place where if I'm in my house and I hear screams coming from the next house, I can call the police or I can call child services. Can we do that? Can we work out a system like that here on the continent? Because if we are reporting cases of abuse that we see, then at least we are protecting one child or the other. But we keep quiet about these things, and then it keeps happening, and then it keeps happening, and then it keeps happening. And then we don't really talk about it until one breaks out in the media. Until there's a news story, there's a breaking news. That's when you see the rage of people. And if you can't take care of the child, why is the child with you? And then you see people come up with all sorts of opinions about a thing. But we see it happening and we don't talk about it. So I'd just like to end with, let's be each other's keeper. It is not your child, it is not the child of your relative, but it is still a child who is the future of the world, who needs to be protected. So let's do better. Let's do better when it comes to protecting the rights of these kids.
Thank you. Well, you've had it. Let's do better. I think time is far gone, but the only thing I'll say is there's no straight way that, like I've been saying, there's no standard book. But look, how would you have loved to be treated? How would you want to be related to? Let's do better as we take care of our children.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and share.